I live with my grandmother. She raised me from a baby. I don't really talk about my grandmother. So, right now you mentioned something that I try to not talk about because I know she hurts a lot.
Yeah.
She got treated. Yeah, because she didn't get to see how dope of a person her grandson came to be. I would be comfortable living on the streets. I'm not one to play with when it comes to doing music at all. Most people have been in this game as long as I've been in the game and not here anymore. At all. They way gone. They can't compete. Not on this level. At all. I can compete at the top level right now. Period. Against anybody. Especially from my era group. I spank they boots. I don't care who you put in the booth with me. And I got the money to back it. Right now, tonight. That's the difference. Don't play no games. Tell them bring 100 tonight. Whoever it is.
The internet has turned the spotlight on Jim Jones once again, and this time the backlash is louder than ever. Fans, critics, hip-hop bloggers, and even former supporters are calling out what they say is a long pattern of inconsistent stories, exaggerated claims, and narratives that don't line up with receipts circulating online.
Jim Jones, he is saying that the locks gave him COVID. Here's what he said on the preview for Drink Champs.
I called COVID active verses after the verses. That was the only time.
You talking about the locks gave you COVID?
Yeah. The locks gave me COVID. On top of everything that night, they gave me COVID.
Over the years, Jim Jones has carved out a reputation as one of Harlem's most recognizable voices, a veteran with deep ties to Dipset history, street conversations, and cultural influence. But with every interview, every podcast appearance, and every new statement, more people are starting to revisit old footage and compare it to what he's saying today. And the more they dig, the more contradictions they believe they're finding. The latest controversy erupted after clips resurfaced from past interviews.
I'm not his soldier. I'm his partner. But in the journey that we had to take, I had to do what was needed. That's why I played my position. And that's why I'm able to be here and have a conversation with you, because I did what I was supposed to do. If I didn't, I don't think I'd be able to have this much success or this good grace. I took the position of my position. Cam is my partner. I'm not his artist. I was the CEO of Diplomats. I made Diplomats with him. I was with him for every bit of his journey. I held him down. I took that position of holding him down.
Moments where Jim made bold statements about his career, his street background, or his involvement in certain iconic New York moments. These videos were placed side by side with newer interviews, and fans quickly pointed out what they believed were conflicting details.
While Nas has 27 entries, 16 top 10 albums, and 6 that have reached #1 on the Billboard 200.
Right now, 2025, I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap circles around.
Social media wasted no time. Fans clipped segments, slowed them down, added captions, and created comparison threads that went viral within hours. Hip-hop forums filled with discussions about whether Jim had been rewriting history, polishing up moments, or exaggerating certain details to make himself look bigger than he was.
What I did for Nas probably never been done for him in his life. He's never been that viral at all, ever. Ever. He's never been talked about like this ever in his life. Last time he was in some shit like this where people were comparing when him and Jay was beating on him. You heard? You dig? Like, and I don't want to talk about other people's career, but let's just get to the semantics of it.
Since the whole time?
Nas.
Okay.
Huh? I don't know Nas to have a conversation with him. You don't have a conversation, we can have that too and shit like that. You dig? Like, I don't really care.
One thing I did see you do, I've seen you do this in Say Less, I've seen you do this in the studio. You'll pull out the 100K and say, who won it? It's up. Who want to go?
100%. I ain't got 100 on me now. I got like 40, 50 on me.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's right up. You can get this right now. Right now. Anyone you right now. And it ain't a money thing, but this is here. You heard? If you want to get busy, is the money on the line. Any one of y'all from my era and before my era. You heard? I started in 2003. Let's not forget that. Let's get it straight.
Yeah.
That's when I signed my deal.
Seeing these claims circulate, fans who once rode hard for Jim began shifting their tone. What used to be admiration slowly turned into doubt. What used to be respect turned into skepticism. People online said they've given him chance after chance, interview after interview, but the inconsistencies just kept piling up. Many commenters argued that hip-hop has changed. The audience is more informed, more connected, more willing to research old clips, and far less forgiving of stories that don't add up. With the rise of platforms that document everything, rewrites of history are harder to pull off. The culture remembers. The internet archives. and fans check everything. The uproar reached new heights when fans revisited old Dipset-era interviews and compared them to Jim's newer claims about his role in the movement.
Anything that I did with Diplomats was out the love of my heart. He said I was a CEO. I never had no paperwork. My name wasn't on nothing that I own. And his name was on everything. I never got no publishing checks for it. I wrote them on everybody's album. I never got no writing credits. No, my name was never on nothing that had to do with nothing to do with Diplomats.
Dipset is one of the most influential collectives in hip-hop history, and every artist associated with it carries a legacy that fans protect fiercely. Jim has long positioned himself as one of the foundational forces behind the group's success. Speaking often about sacrifices, leadership, and behind-the-scenes work, he says, helped keep the movement alive. But when old footage emerged showing contradictions between his narrative and the narratives of other Dipset members, fans began raising eyebrows.
So I see everybody talking shit about my legs, yeah. If you don't know a thing about genetics, probably don't think about working out. So here's a little challenge for those who say I ain't got no legs. Then I urge everyone who's talking shit, do the same thing and post it. Simple. Just do this, and now shut up. Do that, now shut up. Do this, and I'll shut the up.
Clips circulated showing Cameron, Jules Santana, and others describing their early days in ways that didn't always line up with Jim's version of events. Fans noticed differences regarding who managed what, who made certain decisions, who handled business moves, and who was actually leading the charge during Dipset's rise. Instead of strengthening Jim's credibility, the comparisons sparked debates about whether he had been inflating his position in the story for years. The culture started asking whether this was an honest recollection or a pattern of revising history to protect his image.
Oh, I'm outside, baby. I'm outside, baby. What's going on? 145th. You know what I mean? We on 145th and Lenox, you know what I mean? You all right? It's early morning. I know you vamp life. I'm opposite. Right. But we outside on the ground. Get some work, Cabo. You know what I mean? We here, baby. Get some work, baby. Right. You know what I mean? Ain't no excuses, baby. Right.
Not helping his case were moments where Jim contradicted himself within the same era of interviews. Fans pointed to claims he made about recording sessions, street situations, and industry interactions that didn't align with widely known timelines. Social media commentators created entire breakdowns dissecting each inconsistency. The internet became its own detective squad, building timelines, matching dates, and comparing statements.
Sure, there seems to be some drama. You and The Rock, Jay-Z, you try to diss. You did diss him.
I just nobody.
You dissed him.
I dissed Michael Jordan.
Oh man, we just
there's no drama, man.
No, we're gonna get to that. Listen, Jay said, from what I'm hearing, he said you're not on anyone's top 10. Why should they support you? Why?
He also said I didn't have any plaques. He talk
crazy
badly about me. I'm hurt. You know what I think it is? Who would ever think that Jim Jones would have the hottest song than Jay-Z?
Whether the fans were right or wrong wasn't the point. The perception was shifting, and perception is everything in a culture built on authenticity. What hit especially hard was the disappointment from Harlem residents and longtime fans who lived through the Dipset era. Many felt like Jim was trying too hard to be seen as the glue of the group instead of simply embracing the role he already played. The narrative fans built around Dipset was powerful because each member contributed something unique.
Working, I could have died on the job. I really been in the kitchen with them chickens when they was frying up the hard tent. But I'm out. Up in the powwows where they scream loud. I just walked out my building and I seen bodies away.
I remember many years ago, not in this park, I had a birthday party.
When people sensed someone trying to elevate themselves above the collective, it triggered frustration instead of admiration. The conversation intensified when fans started revisiting Jim's street claims, stories he's told for years about Harlem, past incidents, and street-level interactions that helped shape his reputation. These stories added weight to his image, helping him maintain credibility in a culture that highly values authenticity. But as the internet dug deeper, more and more people questioned whether certain elements of those stories matched what others from the same neighborhoods had said.
Everybody know, and for those who don't know, you helped kick off the Love and Hip Hop franchise or what have you, and we know you haven't participated in this season. What's the story behind that?
That ain't my type of TV, you know. That ain't something I wanted to do. And I didn't help kick it off. That was my show.
I started that. I created the whole template with me and Chrissy.
Multiple individuals who lived through the same era chimed in online, offering context, timelines, and personal recollections that clashed with Jim's version of events. They weren't calling him an outsider, he's clearly Harlem certified, but they questioned whether he exaggerated certain moments to sound more militant or more connected than he actually was. Hip-hop thrives on storytelling, but when those stories begin to conflict with first-hand accounts from people who were there,
Jim Jones.
Nas. Yeah, I don't know what kind of Nas. I don't know what kind of question that is. Yeah, Nas.
Okay, all right. Listen, hey.
Hey, you gotta switch something up, big dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, come on. This is Nas, man.
Nas, what? Saving a question?
Okay, you too?
Yes.
Okay.
Capo, you know I love you. Nas is.
fans start getting suspicious. YouTube commentators began breaking down interviews where Jim spoke about street situations that seemed inconsistent in tone, timing, or detail. Critics highlighted that he sometimes changed key parts of stories depending on the platform he was on. A claim might sound one way on a New York-based show and another way on a national podcast.
Jimmy popping all that bullshit. I be seeing Jimmy talking about we Gucci boo boo. He in the Gucci store. They about we Gucci boo boo. Them Black King niggas was going fuck you up. Jimmy, they was like, Marita Moneda, Coca-Cola.
That inconsistency became the internet's new favorite target, creating a pattern fans could no longer ignore. Then came the allegations that he kept inserting himself into certain high-profile street narratives that other people denied him having involvement in. Whether these people were right or wrong didn't matter. What mattered was that the community felt Jim's stories were losing weight. The more he talked, the more people questioned him. The more he tried to defend his credibility, the more fans pulled up clips contradicting him. As the backlash grew, another layer emerged. The community started analyzing Jim's motives.
We sit here and make more money than you. I know you don't want to play the Cash App, open your bank account game on the phone when we see each other. You don't want to open the phones up and see how much has got in the account. You made $2 million.
I know you don't want no ATM battle.
We make more money than you. You talking about, oh, they podcast. Because we getting chicken. We make more money than you. You better come when you want a job. We might got a job for you. I'll try to take it easy on you.
Fans questioned why he kept telling these stories in the first place. Some argued that he was simply trying to protect his legacy by solidifying his place in hip-hop history. Others speculated that the constant exaggerations were a strategy to stay relevant in an era where newer artists dominate the spotlight. When legends feel overlooked, they sometimes overcompensate by retelling history from their perspective.
Nas and Jim Jones.
I'm a Harlem. Will never ever disrespect Nas, first and foremost. Jimmy, that's the bro. That's Uncle Jomo, but first and foremost, he need to sit his ass.
Nas and Jim Jones.
Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones? Nas.
Nas and Jim Jones. Nas. All right. Nas and Jim Jones. Is that a serious question? Yes, it is. It's Nas, bro. Right. Jim Jones the clown. Nas and Jim Jones.
Come on. Is that a question?
Yo.
Is that a question?
Hey, yo.
Nas and Jim Jones.
Come on.
Yo.
Nas
for the culture.
All right. Nas and Jim Jones.
Said Nas or Jim Jones? Oh, Nas.
Nas and Jim Jones.
Another theory circulating online is that Jim is stuck in an era where storytelling was currency, and the internet didn't fact-check everything. Back then, artists could craft their narrative freely. Today, even a small inconsistency becomes a viral moment. The industry changed, but maybe his media approach didn't. That disconnect is playing out publicly, with fans realizing that older artists must adapt to a new, more scrutinizing audience.
I never get my credit for a bunch of shit I do in this industry. When they say Love Hop, they supposed to say, man, the creator and founder, Jim Jones.
You was on it early.
I wasn't on an order. I created it. It wasn't about nobody. It was a man named Jim Acumen that been following me on the internet for years. Chrissy was supposed to do a show. It didn't go through for her. I called Jim Acumen like, yo, I'm ready to do reality TV. If you do a show around Chrissy, and I'll be a part of the show for the whole thing, right? At that time, I wasn't doing no shows. So Yandy went on the road with Missy Elliott so she could get her money. And she told Mona, yo, hold Jim down while I'm gone, play the management. I had a couple more meetings at VH1. took Mona with me to the meeting. She went in there as my manager and left as the producer.
Oh gosh.
Of my whole show template. From the name of the show. I made the name Love and Hip Hop. That's my name. They didn't make that name.
I didn't know that.
You heard?
I didn't know
That's like Emily came up with that name. You heard? Like that was our whole template. It was supposed to be about the wives and the girlfriends of hip hop stars, starting with Chrissy, and Chrissy's friend was Emily, and it was built around that. Even though we know Fab wasn't going to be on television,
which
it was supposed
the
to
heart
be like
of the first one.
Yeah.
Some critics believe that Jim has been competing with the legacies of others in Dipset, trying to outshine Cameron, stand next to Yoel Santana, or claim a larger role in their collective story. When someone feels overshadowed, they sometimes inflate their position. Fans speculate that this long-standing competition may be pushing him to exaggerate stories to elevate his image above those of his peers. Whether this theory is accurate or not, it reflects how fans perceive his actions.
So that's how that goes.
But industry coverage tells a completely different story. Mona Scott Young is widely recognized as the show's creator and executive producer in all official credits and trade publications. Jim and Chrissy were basically just participants.
Oh God, I'm trying to move beyond all of that. The drama is what it is. It just came part and parcel with the whole thing. And I trust the fact that she knows that, I really care about her, care about Jim. Their engagement was one of the highlights of my producing this show.
You are a guardian angel and designer. What the fuck is you talking about, man? You are from the Bronx, bro. You are not from Harlem. Why do you keep thinking that you are from Harlem, bro? You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you, man. I did not grow up with you. Contrary to what you believe, I did not grow up with you. You are from the Bronx. Did your grandmother live in Harlem? Yes. Did you come see her? Yes. Did I see you time to time? Yes. I did not grow up with you. You talk about dick riding down. That's where this old shit, I would have left it alone. I would have left the old shit alone. Dick riding, do you remember how we met? Pause. So not met, how you got cool with us? This is what happened, how Jomo got cool with us. We were popping. It wasn't no internet. Mace, myself, Big L, even though Mace and Big L on the same page, Bloodshed, my man Herb McGruff, we were super duper popping in the street prior to the internet. Everybody knew we was about to get a record deal. Everybody knew this. It wasn't no secret. Basically, you heard our freestyles, and you came up to me one day when I was chilling in front of the house. You said, and this word to my dead mother, yo, man, I heard the freestyles. Y'all killing shit. Yo, my grandmother died. If y'all want to come by and just hang out, y'all could. Y'all more than welcome. We like, all right, Jomo, thanks. It didn't really make sense at the time because we like, yo, man, where's Jomo inviting us to his house for? Even though he cool. But it didn't make sense to be going to Jomo's house. More freestyles come out. Yo, I heard the new shit you did. I heard the new shit you did. Yo, you want to come through? Come through. One day, I'm leaving Mace's house on the west side, going back to the east side. I stopped at Jomo's house. His grandmother died, God bless her dad. And he had a free crib. So yeah, I would bring some bitches over there to fuck sometime. A little crack maybe. I'd be at everybody's house. I never needed nowhere to stay. You act like on your couch. You was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan. A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I don't see you around none of this. You're not from none of that. So you can sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem shit and everything. You ever see somebody from Harlem try to act like they from Harlem so bad that you gotta keep saying, I'm from Harlem? Who's from Harlem know who's from Harlem. You don't have to keep saying you from Harlem. So that's first and foremost. All this, is on your account. You were fanned out and you begged to come to your house after you heard all these mixtapes. That's how you got in. You was so cool, and we was like, yo, Jomo's a nice guy. Mace like, yo, I think I'll teach him how to rap. Mace actually taught you how to rap, literally. He taught you how to rap. You say it. Start this, and I ain't do that, and you started Pink, and you made the Diplomats, which is just, if people choose to believe that, then...
Jim Jones now finds himself facing one of the toughest challenges of his career. Not a diss track, not an industry beef, not a label issue, but a credibility crisis driven entirely by the fans. And when the fan base is the one handing out criticism, the impact hits different. They're not doing it for clout or competition. They're doing it because they feel the culture deserves accuracy. The hip-hop community has outgrown the era of unchecked storytelling, and Jim is learning that the hard way. The reaction from fans shows how much the culture values truth. Whether someone is a legend or a newcomer, authenticity is the foundation of respect. When fans feel like that foundation is cracked, they pull away. And that's exactly what's happening now. Online discussions have shifted from support to analysis, from admiration to disappointment, from defending Jim to calling him out. The tone is unmistakable. We're tired of the capping. The question now is how Jim responds. Historically, artists have recovered from controversies by addressing them head-on, clarifying, correcting, or simply owning the mistakes. But if he continues the same pattern without acknowledging the backlash, the distance between him and the fans will only grow. Some supporters argue that the best solution is honesty. If he admits to misremembering certain details or explains the inconsistencies, fans might give him another chance. But if he dismisses the backlash entirely, it may become impossible to rebuild trust. For now, the hip-hop world is watching his next move closely. This isn't a small situation. It reflects a cultural shift happening across the entire industry. Legends are being held accountable, narratives are being fact-checked, the audience is demanding accuracy. Hip-hop has matured and the artist must mature with it. Jim Jones still has influence, talent, and a legacy worth preserving, but that legacy is now under review. The culture wants to know whether he is willing to stand on truth or keep pushing narratives that fans no longer believe. If he chooses transparency, the community may let this moment pass. If he keeps pushing questionable claims, the backlash will only escalate. At the end of the day, hip-hop respects truth more than perfection. Fans don't expect artists to be flawless, they expect them to be real. And if Jim manages to reconnect with that principle, his place in the culture can still be secured. But if he ignores the moment, the culture will move on without him. If you enjoyed this deep breakdown, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more eye-opening stories shaping the hip-hop world.